That was hands down one of the best horror movies that I've seen in years. Hey guys, welcome back to Craig's Horror House, the channel where I talk everything horror. Now, if this is your first time here, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all future updates. Okay, Saw X. Wow, I was not expecting this movie to be this good. I have heard really good reviews about the movie, but literally, this movie just smashed it for me, it really did. Just a quick heads up, there will be spoilers in this review, so please be aware if you don't like spoilers. Okay, Saw X, it's kind of like a prequel, but it's not. Basically, this movie is set in between the first movie and the second movie. Now, when I first heard of this premises, I didn't really have high hopes, but I'll be honest with you guys, once I did my trailer reaction video, I was pleasantly surprised at how awesome this movie looked, and it did not let me down. The movie follows John Kramer, who is of course the Jigsaw mastermind, psychopath I suppose you'd call him, and he ends up looking for some kind of cure for his brain cancer. Now, this only starts to play out after John sees this guy who he apparently had stage 4 cancer, but he's now looking very healthy. Now, the guy ends up telling John that he discovered these doctors who helped cure his cancer, and even shows off his scar on his body as proof. He then proceeds to give John a website address so that John can go and look into it, because, you know, John, he's only human at the end of the day. Now, John, he does end up being sucked into a huge lie, and he ends up traveling to Mexico, where these fake doctors and surgeons, they pretend to remove his tumor, and they end up taking a lot of his money. It's actually a really great part of the movie. Like, I really enjoyed it, because you follow John's story, traveling to Mexico. He's not looking very well. He's then fake kidnapped by these people who then take him to this big house where the operation is going to take place, and everyone involved in this scam, they play their part really, really well. It's absolutely sick and twisted, but they do play it well. They suck John in. They would suck me in if it was me, you know, going to this place. And, you know, like I said, they end up taking a lot of John's money. But when John discovers afterwards that he has been conned, this is when the games begin. Everyone, and I mean literally everyone, who took part in conning John is basically attacked and then kidnapped, and they're all put through their own games. Now, of course, a massive highlight of this movie for me is having Amanda back. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's clearly looking a lot older, but I don't care. I can roll with it. It's fine. I can ignore it. Having both Amanda and John back in a movie like this is basically a Saw fan's wet dream. And Amanda, she still has that slight compassionate side to her, but at the same time, she's also a total psycho who you really don't want to get on the wrong side of. I absolutely love her character. The Saw traps are amazing as usual. There is plenty of gore. In fact, there is actually an eyeball vacuum scene that I'm pretty sure we've all seen the picture of it on some of the posters. Now, I thought that this scene was going to be horrific, but it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. In fact, I do think it's probably the tamest trap that you see in the movie. The trap that really went through me was the one where, you know, that woman, she's like slicing her leg off with that really like thin wire. Oh my god, it goes on forever, and the sound of every rip and tear, oh, it was horrific. But there is plenty of gore for the gore fans, but there's also a great story throughout the movie. You really get to know the characters, and it's not just one of those sort of like splat fests of people who you don't really give a damn about like some of the previous Saw movies. Now, the biggest villain in this movie is this woman called Dr. Cecilia Pedersen. Now, she is the one who is in charge of this whole fake curing the cancer scam, and she's a dangerous lady. She scammed a lot of victims before scamming John, and of course, all of these previous victims who thought that their cancer was cured are obviously they're dead now. But Dr. Cecilia Pedersen, she is one hell of a villain. She don't give a shit, and I would go as far to say that I think she is my favourite villain in all of the Saw movies. Not only does she do this sick, disgusting scam thing, but she does something towards the end of the movie that actually really shocked me. In the final act of the movie, there's a moment where Dr. Pedersen and her partner in crime, Parker, they end up turning the tables on both John and Amanda, and John, he ends up in one of his own saw traps. It's actually amazing to see, but Dr. Pedersen, she ends up using this young boy, this young child, in the saw trap with John, and oh my goodness, it's an intense scene. I won't give too much away, but this woman is one sick fucker who has no remorse on anything, and the fact that she's just happy to sit back and watch a child get tortured and possibly killed, this is just next level. It's not something that we've seen in a previous Saw movie. Now, I won't say on here if the child dies or not, just in case there are some of you watching this and they don't want the whole movie spoiled, but guys, watch it. It is intense. I couldn't actually quite believe what I was watching. There are some great twists and turns by the end of this movie, which, of course, it isn't uncommon for a Saw film. It's actually a very satisfying twist, but at the same time, at the very end, it's not. This is due to one character surviving, but again, that's all I'm going to say on that one. However, the fact that this certain character did survive, it does make me think that there could be a sequel to this direct movie, like maybe a Saw X Part 2, which I'm really hoping for. But yeah, this is probably my only criticism for the movie, is that this certain character didn't get their just desserts in the end. Other than that, this movie was flipping fantastic. There is also a scene after the credits roll, which is definitely worth sticking around for, because Detective Hoffman, do you guys remember him? He ends up making an appearance in this scene, and it's fantastic to watch. But all in all, guys, this movie, I love it. I thought it was amazing. Everything from the story to the traps to the twisted villain in the, Dr. Pedersen. I was hooked from start to finish. Now, even though that I knew that John was being scammed in the first part of this movie, because it's pretty much shown in the trailer, it was still very intriguing to watch his journey and his story, and you even get quite emotional for John, because he honestly believes that his cancer's cured and that he's getting a second chance in life. This is what a Saw movie should be, and it's definitely now my favorite Saw sequel or prequel or in-between sequel. Whatever you want to call it, guys, it is now my new favorite Saw movie ever. So let's hear some of your thoughts. What did you guys think of Saw X? Did you love it or did you hate it? Are you hoping that there is going to be a follow-on from this one, or do you think it should just end now on a total high? Let me know everything, guys, in the comments box below. Okay then, guys, thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all again very soon.